Hello and welcome back to Alex Goes Sailing. It's time to leave the mound, which is just behind us. Plans to go to Falmouth, but we've got one problem. We've got 1.6 beneath the keel. Tide is slowly dropping, almost at the bottom though. And we're going to go 30 metres that way to pull up the anchor chain. So we just started the engine and we're getting ready to roll. And hopefully we don't touch bottom. Otherwise we've got a little ways to go on the tide, so we might lean over if we touch. But I'm sure it'll be fine. It's a sandy bottom anyway. We've got enough power. We'll just go easy. Easy on the anchor. 1.5 metre now. Wind's blowing us offshore, which is nice. So at least we got some wind. We got 8 knots. Don't know if it'll be enough to sail out that way. That's the direction we're going in. It's coming directly from over there, so a bit of a beam. Rather be sailing into that little of a wind so you can get some apparent wind with you. But we'll see how it goes. Big bit of seaweed there. Chain was wrapped up in that a little bit. Still going this way as we speak. Trying to go easy on the windlass. And then we've got 1.7 beneath the keel at the moment apparently. And that's from recalibrating it the other day. So it seems to be going in the right direction. Right, we've had a great success with the anchor hauling. Came out somewhat clean, just a bit of a muddy sand. Mostly sand. So it just washed off in like 10 seconds, it's fine. We got down to 1.2 meters and we're just about to put it into gear, clonk, and we're gonna head out this way, out through the channel and say goodbye to the mound. Lovely spot, very cool castle. I definitely recommend checking it out if you do get the chance. And it's a really cool anchorage and the sunsets here are lovely. We rode out a bit of a storm here, so that's quite nice. And there's also a really good pasty shop right up there. But anyhow, let's get out here and see if we can sail today. Right, we rounded over there. Wind's finally in the right direction, that we can put the sails up. I'm having a nice sail into Falmouth. Now just ringing around the marinas, getting a spot for tonight. Because we need water, we need groceries, we need laundry. So it's worth it for one night in the marina. The marina I am with, they should give you a free day in their marina, but apparently they don't do or don't have a spot for anything over 10 meters. And I'm 13 meters, so I've never had this problem before. Because I'm used to my small little boats. But anyway, at least we're sailing, and then I'll find a spot in there somewhere, waiting for a call back, and then we'll zip into a marina. And hopefully the last one before we get back to Brighton. So let's enjoy some sailing. Sailing! Oh, the sailing. Now, coming into the marina, it's a fairly simple approach and probably one of the easier dockings we've had, but it's very important to get the midships line on first because that gives me the most amount of control to control where the bow goes and the stern goes, because I can basically go forward, reverse, use the bow thruster a bit, and it can take as much time as you like to get the bow and stern lines on. Now, came into this marina, pretty good pricing. It was like £65 we spent. I can't remember how many days we were. But we got all our laundry done, probably spent about £10 on the laundry. Got a supermarket shop in, filled up with water, resupplied, so we're ready to go the next day. But tell me in the comments below what you think of my docking. We used the prop walk in reverse to pull it in towards the end, but I'm getting to grips with learning how the boat manoeuvres, because I've never really had to deal with prop walk before and such a large boat. But I think I'm doing a pretty good job so far. Right, we've been doing some sailing. We've got Savvy Novi open here. We're going 2.2, so not super fast. Wind is currently doing 6. And, well, that would mean it's going to take us like 6 or 7 hours to get to where we want to go. Which isn't so good. So we might have to motor sail a little bit. Maybe when we get around the point there'll be a bit more wind and we can turn up into it maybe, so we'll have to see. So might have to do a quick motor, but I don't like motoring. But 2.2, 2.3. We've got both sails up. I've done a couple jobs while we've been sailing along. With Helena, I have been putting these labels on so we know what does what. And then up the front here, I put on, there was a soft shackle on here, but it was too long and it's already at the full reach at the top of the mast. So I put one of these stubby little twist shackles on, which seems to have made this quite nice. It's somewhat tight, so it should be good now. But that's good. The other job I got to do is sort this drum out, because the way this furling line runs, it's actually tweaking this down, which isn't good for it, because you can see it's like not even in alignment. There's a big gap here. Stick my finger through it. So I just got a little bolt underneath here. You can twist it around, so I'm gonna end up doing that. But I don't know if that interferes with this, because that I would assume that would prevent it opening this far, but it doesn't really open much further than that, so I'm not too concerned with it at all. So I think it'll be fine. We'll rotate that around a little bit, but we did have the furling lines running around the outside, because you can see where the old blocks were, which I kind of like, but I kind of don't like, because one, it would get in the way of all the mooring cleats, and the same with the midships one down there, and also getting on and off the boat through the gates that open there. Whereas this just runs from there straight to the cockpit, which means you get them inside the cockpit, which is quite nice. Bit of a trip hazard on deck, but I haven't found it to be. There's other things that are more of a trip hazard, like downside the boat, but I think it's not too bad. But listen, so quiet. So I'm going to go over some of the sailing performance I found so far on our trip. We're just on the way back now. But at the minute it's very light wind. We're in about 6 knots of wind, maybe 5. We're actually going along a decent chat with the full main and full Genoa out. It's 130% Genoa, apparently, maybe 120. But we're going along doing about 2, 2.5, sometimes up to 3. Which is not bad going. I think we're going against tide a little bit as well, so not too bad. In the heavier winds it's pretty good, so we've done up to 23, 24 knots upwind, and for that we use the inner jib, so that one does pretty good. We've had that fully out. We have to start rolling it up at about 20 knots, so about 20 knots you start rolling it up, and you tend to have the main reef down a bit as well. But as soon as you're under like 18 knots, you can have full main pretty much, it feels like. And you go at 6, 7 knots most of the time then. As soon as you get into the 15 knot range, you can pretty much get to 6, 7 knots quite happily. So I'm quite happy at the minute with performance, but I'm going to try and make a polar diagram. So a day like this is kind of perfect, apart from the tide. So I kind of want to do it when it's a slack tide situation, so I know tide's not interfering. And then just sail all the points of sail for a decent time at whatever degree, and see what she can do. And then I know what she can do for when I'm planning things. In a minute, I haven't really got a clue about her true speeds at what point of sails. So when trying to calculate for that, it's quite difficult doing a passage. Now she does like to point at about 40 degrees up into the wind. 45 is preferable, but you can just about get to 40. It's alright, not too bad. She has got the short, shallow draft keel on her, so she's not going to cut up into the wind as nice, but it's alright, and I prefer the shallower draft. But so far, Gitane is doing splendid, and I'm really liking how she sails. Loads of room everywhere, super comfortable. So I think it's goodbye. I'm happy as Larry. I hope you are too. I hope you're enjoying this as well, because this is quite the step up for me. I'm used to things half the size of this, and probably weigh like a tenth. Oh, we gotta watch out. We got some fishing markers coming up. Just one, I see two. So we gotta watch out for those. Right, I'm gonna see if there's enough wind to get around this corner. Otherwise I'm gonna have to flick on the motor and do a little bit of motor sailing, which is unfortunate. It's got a little bit wet. Right, so the rain started, the wind dropped to like 3. So engine is on and hiding in the Dodger, and anchorage is just there. So we'll be there in about 20 minutes. So we've motored an hour, and then we sailed from about 1 o'clock. So we managed to sail most of it actually, even though we're delivering 3 to 4 knots, even down to 2 at times. So it's not too shabby. But we're getting here. There's a bit of swell coming from this direction. Doesn't bode too well, but in an hour or two, the wind is going to start blasting in that direction. So hopefully it cancels it out a bit. We'll find out. If not, I'll do some creative anchoring, I think. Right, that's it for this episode. We dropped hook right in that spot. Had to do a little bit of creative anchoring overnight because it's got a little bit rolly. But it was quite a nice spot with some very private beaches with waterfalls running down them, so very cool to see. But in the next episode you will see us carry on this trip back to Brighton. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.